Hey everyone, hope you're all having a good day. This is another reloading video by Weston Summers, and today we're going to be going over how to find the cartridge overall length that will fit our each individual rifle for shooting precision loads. And for today, the example we're going to use is going to be my precision rifle. This is my .223 TAC rifle, and today I'm going to be trying to load the 75 grain AMAX, and it's going to be a VLD bullet, which means very low drag, and they're longer, so they need to be seated out farther so that they touch the lands of the rifle barrel. Now, this rifle itself right here has a matched chamber in it, and it has a long throat, which would be this area right here, where the bullet sits before it enters the rifling. Now, I specifically asked for that so that I could be able to shoot heavy bullets. Now, this rifle is designed to shoot the 55 to 62 grain, sometimes 69 grain bullets, and it'll put them in the same hole almost at 200 yards. But not many of those bullets are good hunting bullets for like white-tailed deer where I'm down here. So today I'm going to be trying to load the 75 grain AMAX once again, which is a very long bullet and is an excellent hunting round in my opinion. I've taken out several large game with this. So with that, I'm going to try and zoom the camera in down here where you can see the rifle, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to cheat and get around some of the more expensive cartridge or overall length gauges that you would find in the store. So here we go. Alright, now we're going to hope that's about right there, so you can see get a good shot of just the rifle action. Now, for this, you're going to need your calipers. You're going to need a sheet of paper to write down the sizes that you go over, or you find, and you're going to need a fired shell. You cannot use a shell that you have already deprimed and resized because the neck has also been sized, and your bullet will not go into the neck unless you're using your press. If you have a bullet that you've fired, the neck has already expanded because a bullet had to be forced in there anyway, so a bullet will drop right in there. Now, you want to go through a couple because this one's too loose and it looks like it would just fall right out. But the second one I picked up that's been fired, the bullet will sit just right there in it, and it will sit at any distance or length that I want it to. Now, this rifle, we're trying to discover once again that it likes the 2.48 length. Here's just a quick target that this is one I picked out of a group. This is at 150 yards, and I pulled this first one, which was also a fouling shot. If I put something really white behind it, you'll see that it's got a lot of smudge on it, and that's from where I really cleaned the rifle, and that first shot took out all the gunk. The next two settled in, and I was able to shoot a pretty good group at 150 yards. But we want to get better than that, and I want to show you how you do that. So, first off, you want to take your rifle, which I hope you can see, because I don't have a viewer. You want to make sure she's unloaded, and you want to have your bolt and everything in here. Now, take your fired round, and you want to position your bullet just inside of it. Even if it sits crooked like that, it doesn't matter. Now, you want to feed this in here, into your rifle in your chamber, and you want to work your action one time, all the way down. Now, always keep your cleaning rod handy because you're probably going to stick a few bullets in here along the way. Now, when you eject this round, just like you would do a brass check, as soon as you would feel back, your ejector is going to want to shoot the casing out, which will hit the bullet on the side of the action and will mess up your measurement. So as soon as you can see the brass, start pushing in on her. Hope you can see that. And as she gets to right here, let her pop out. Now, when we take our calipers, we would once again make sure they're at 0, and we'll give this one a measure. And this one came out to exactly 2.483. I don't know if you can see that in there. I'm not left-handed. There we go. 2.483. So, you would take your sheet of paper and you would write down 2.483. And you would do this, I would recommend 10 times. Once again, you just pull her back out. There's not any science to it. You just pull it back out because this is what's going to be touching the lands. Put her back in your action. Work her one time. Hopefully she comes back out, which she did, and take her out. Now, we would measure this one, see what this one comes out to. Now, this one stayed very long. No, it didn't. Okay, this one went to 2.53. So it's really long. So you'd write down 2.53. When you get 10 or 15 of these on here, because it's probably pushing some of them up into the land, take out the really high ones, take out the really low ones because of your standard deviation, and then come up with an average. Mine came out to 2.48, and I was able to shoot under an inch group with like the 5th or 6th load I came up with this round. Now, another way you can find this out is you can take a round, drill out the back of it, take a drill out the back of it, take your primer out, drill this out here, take your die, your tap die, and you would put her in here, and you would put a set of threads on here. Make sure it's a fired round. You go get your threaded rod from the hardware store, you thread her in here, you take your bullet that would fit in here, which would be 30 cal, this is 30-06, you would slide her deep down in there where you can only see like that much of the bullet. You function her into your rifle till it sits in there with your bolt out. You would take your bolt out of your rifle, and then you would screw the threaded rod in, and as you screwed, it would push the bullet farther and farther forward until it touched the lands. Now, there's one way to find out to touch the lands without an ogive guide. The way you do that is you take your bullet, making sure it's already in the case because it gets a little warm, and take a standard lighter or a candle. And this is called smoking a bullet. There's no drugs involved. It's called smoking a bullet. You want to strike your lighter, and instead of holding it up here and getting it hot, that won't do anything. You want to get it down here into the flame. Looks like this one is probably going to die on us, which is why I had 2 lighters. It's probably going to die on us, and you want to come right here around the ogive of the bullet, which is a thick part, and you want to smoke it up or put a good layer of smut on the bullet. Looks like it does the best right there in the yellow. Sorry it's taking a second, but I want you to be able to see it. Now, I'm sure it's hot, but here's a clean bullet, and there is a smoky bullet. Now, even the case got a little warm, and you don't want to mess your bullets up, but it won't hurt them. It's called smoking a bullet. Now, what this does is when we're going to force it into the rifle without touching anything, we will be able to see scratches from the lands or the rifling where it touches. We can measure the ogive on the bullet and then get a link for that. So, once again, check your rifle, make sure she's on safety and unloaded. You're going to take your bullet. You want to feed her in here without touching anything. Work her one time. I hope it comes out. Doesn't stick. And she did. Perfect. Now I don't want to touch it, so I'm going to lift the rifle up to throw her out here because I don't want to knock off any of the smoking. Alright. Here we go. I got the light on it so you can see it. And if you look at this rifle right here, or this bullet, there are scratches all the way around it, all the way up to it looks right there, which would be the widest part of the bullet, which is called the ogive. So we know this bullet touched the lands that time, at least on this side. You can see the lines heading up into the lands where the bullet wasn't straight. So we would measure this bullet now that we knew it touched the lands, and this one came out to exactly, you're not going to believe this, but if I hold it, 2.482 on the money. And I said it needs to be 2.48, which is where it's shooting here. So if it was exact, which this is just winging it, once again, we would be right on the lands for our VLD bullet, and this would be our precision round, which we would load for shooting long distance. Alright, once again, thank you for watching. I hope that helps everybody. It really seems to help me. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and hit me with all your questions or your comments. I will do my best to answer them. Until then, aim small, miss small, and hope everybody has a good day. Thank you.